Oh, the name's Scott, Mr. and Mrs. Scott. Do you remember?
Oh, yes, of course. Come in.
Thank you.
You've brought the money.
Oh, we have, yes.
Not now, later. This way. You feeling any better today?
No, it's still the arm and the shoulder. Can't move them. It's been that way for years.
Doctors can't do anything about it.
No.
Or else they can't be bothered to try.
Don't worry. Mr. Armour will soon make you well. It's been quite a pleasant day today, hasn't it?
Yes.
The wind seems to have dropped. Well, if you wouldn't mind waiting in there for a moment.
Not at all.
Okay.
I'll just go and tell my husband that you're here.
Fine.
The money. You made a copy of the serial numbers?
Yes.
Jake.
Flowers.
Yes, sir. Stolen. The third complaint this week. This time it's a florist's. Must have broken in late last night. And only flowers were nicked. There was £15 in the petty cash float, but they left that.
It's amazing.
Yes, sir. And they left all the expensive pot plants. Just took the everyday blooms, like these. Watch it. Yeah, well, these were the only few left. Just took the lot. Dahlias, gladioli, stuff.
Well, I must say it's a pleasure to see you both again.
Thank you.
So, how are things?
No better.
No better, eh? Now that's a shame. Shall we take your jacket off, Mr. Scott?
Oh, right.
Thank you. And your shirt, please.
Before we start...
Oh, yes. The money.
Oh,
Please.
Excuse me.
£250, wasn't it?
Yes.
Half an hour and the rest when he comes back for a checkup.
That's right,
Yes, I thought so. Oh, could I have a receipt for that, please?
A receipt?
Please.
I'm sorry, but we don't provide receipts.
But my husband's coming here to be cured.
He's come here to be helped, yes.
And you're charging us money for that.
I'm sorry, but Mr. Armour doesn't charge for his services.
Well, then what's that?
A donation. If you remember, I suggested that you might like to donate something in return for my help.
Oh, yes, yes.
All right, then. Let's have a look at you, Mr. Scott.
Theodore Armour.
Yes,
You mean that's his real name?
apparently.
£250.
He calls it a donation.
And he suggested to you, did he, that this exact amount should be donated
Oh, yes.
in return for medical help?
That's right.
Is this man qualified to practice medicine?
No,
Was he ever be?
there's no record on it.
And did he represent himself to you as someone who was registered as a medical practitioner?
No,
Well, what about to other people?
no, he just told them exactly the same as Jake and myself, that he could cure most illnesses.
By faith?
Yes.
No medicines, no pills?
Nothing like that. Just faith.
You say all of this is going on at the back of a shop?
Yes.
What sort of shop?
Theatrical costumiers, carnival novelties, creepy.
Was it some sort of front?
Well, seems genuine enough.
All right, tell me about your complainant.
Yes, well, over the last 7 months, she's paid him, donated something in the region of £900 for his version of medical help.
And she's still unwell, I take it?
Well, no, strangely enough, she reckons that he's cured her. Well, I mean, she was still all right the last time we spoke to her, and that was, what, 10 days ago?
Why is she bringing a complaint?
Her nephew talked her into it.
Not a good witness.
No.
All right, he's taking money off you. Pull him in, see what he's got to say.
Well, the treatment hasn't quite finished yet. Jake's got to go back for a checkup. We'll know what to do then.
You've worked out a charge.
Well, no, not exactly. It could be tricky. I thought the Medical Act might cover it. Willfully and falsely pretending to be a physician, something like that. No?
You said yourself he didn't do that.
Well, there must be something. Fraud? False pretenses? What about criminal deception?
A bit tenuous.
Well, I'll think of something. I must.
My mum always believed in them, you know.
In who?
Faith healers.
What, did she ever pay them any money?
Oh, I don't know.
Or was she ever cured by them?
Well, I don't know that either. She used to collect herbs and things, remedies. Well, I know I was never sick as a child.
Which has nothing whatsoever to do with it.
No, I know. Well, if you have trouble with the Medical Act, try Vagrancy Frauds and Fraudulent Mediums Act. Yeah,
Right.
there should be more room to manoeuvre there.
Yeah.
Anyway, get on to Solicitor's Branch.
Yeah.
They should have something to cover it, yeah?
Right.
Oh, a thought. Inland Revenue might just be interested in your Mr. Armour.
I can't see them helping us.
No, but the object of the exercise is to put a stop to his racket, right?
Right.
Right. We're talking about large sums of money, cash in hand. Can't see Armour declaring it, can you? Turnstile House might just be interested.
Right, I'll give him a ring in the morning. Oh, yes, and,
What?
HM Customs.
Hey?
Well, Armour and his wife seem convinced they're performing a service, and service is subject to VAT.
Yeah, sneaky.
All set to impress someone?
Oh, their evidence.
I see.
Something wrong with your arm?
No, only for having to keep it still. It's rheumatoid arthritis.
What?
Not the primary version, more everyday common one.
Well, that's what you've got.
That's what I was pretending to have.
Oh, yeah. Now, who would want to steal flowers?
I don't know, do I?
I mean, I've had 3 separate complaints in the last 4 days.
Have you?
A street trader only walked 20 yards to buy a paper. When he got back, half his stall had been cleared. Of course, nobody saw it.
Shame.
Then a war memorial, stripped bare, mostly red roses. And now this florist shop in Union Street.
Oh?
You know, I've always reckoned if you go around pretending to have some kind of illness, you end up getting it.
I'm never ill.
No, it's just like when you phone up at work and say you got flu just because you want a few days off. You can jinx yourself. You can lumber yourself with a real dose of flu.
I've just said, I'm never ill.
CID, Phillips. Where's this? Oh. Yeah, I know the building. Its window box displays have been a landmark for years. People go out of their way to look at them. Yeah, I know. Look, how many flowers were taken? The whole lot. All right. Look, tell the commissioner I'll meet him there. Well, let's say 20 minutes. Yeah, okay, bye-bye.
So, what exactly did he do to your arm?
Do to it?
Well, I mean, did he press it, squeeze it, thump it? What?
Just did that.
Just that?
Yeah. 250 quid's worth. I'd have busted him there and then if it hadn't been for Inspector Forbes. She wants to wait.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right for me. Never had a day's illness in my life. Some of them other people who can't help being ill. Go to someone like that, fall for that mysterious hand stuff, and they paid a man good money. Probably their life saving someone.
Mm-hmm. King's evil.
What?
The practice of curing bodily infirmities without the intervention of medicine can be traced back to long before Christian times. Do you know that?
No.
It's sort of a form of mental suggestion.
Ah.
And the king's evil is a form of tuberculosis supposedly cured by the royal touch. That's why they called it that, the king's evil. Who died out round about the beginning of the 18th century.
Oh, glad.
Yeah, well, I thought you'd be interested.
Oh, I am, sir.
Good. I'll see you tomorrow.
Are you all right, Joe?
Not really. Been copying too many speeches this morning.
Speeches?
Yeah. First flower power from Phillips, then potted history from the old man. Mr. Theodore Armour. When do we bring him in?
Next time round.
Good. I've got no time for charlatans.
I've always believed in you. Believed in what you can do. You know that, don't you?
Yes.
And I always will.
So what's worrying you?
I don't know, a feeling. A feeling that something's wrong. It's just a feeling, that's all.
Now, what could possibly be wrong?
I said I don't know. That couple, the Scotts.
What about them?
I don't think you should see them anymore.
But we have to see them.
We don't have to. We can pretend to be out when they call next time.
Why should we want to do a thing like that?
I don't know.
After all, I've helped the man, haven't I?
Exactly. You've helped him, so now we can forget all about them.
We can't just...
Yes.
wants to carve?
Not me.
I don't mind.
Gravy?
Please.
Why not?
Thick or thin?
As it comes.
Shall I light the candles?
Oh, yeah. Good idea. Oh, yes, and there's some flowers in the other room. They look nice.
I'll fetch him.
Starving, do you know that?
You're always starving.
Please?
Oh, yeah, nice.
Oh, it's you working on a Sunday makes me hungry.
Do you think I like working on a Sunday?
Excuse me. Oh.
Oh, no.
Are you in?
I'm not sure yet. What about you? You had a busy day?
No, I slept.
Slept?
It's Sergeant Barrett.
What does he want?
I don't know, he wouldn't say.
Well, the arm's all right now, then?
Yeah, seems to have gone.
He was just after a free meal.
No, I wasn't. There was a definite pain. Right down there. Shoulder, tips of the fingers.
Must be all in the mind.
Yeah.
It still hurts.
It hasn't affected your appetite, has it?
Nothing affects that.
I mean, in olden days, they were all at it. Even in the so-called civilised societies.
At what?
Well, putting ideas into your head. Telling you were going to be well, and telling you weren't. They knew how to do it.
Who's they?
Druids and witch doctors. People like that.
Nothing much has changed then.
What?
Well, even your local GP can do that. That's what he's there for.
Oh, well, that's different.
Of course it's not. Your local doctor can prescribe a fairly harmless tablet and you feel better simply because he had prescribed it, not because of what was in it. The one that's dishing out the treatment has the power, not the one that's receiving it.
That's right.
So this miracle worker of yours, when's your next appointment with him?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, after we've talked to the witness. Does it matter if I have a job?
Don't think so, no. Husband works.
Oh, yes. We need her evidence.
What about ours?
I don't think Mr. Russell has a great deal of confidence in it.
No?
Well, why should he? Well, without this woman, a good solicitor is just
Could
gonna...
say we were instrumental in provoking an arrest.
Yes. Does Mrs. McAvoy have a garden?
What, in this place? Shouldn't think so.
Oh, hello. Hello.
Mrs. Armour?
This way, please. Just a moment.
Something wrong?
No. You've brought the rest of the money.
Oh, yes. Yes, we have.
Well, if you wouldn't mind just waiting in here as usual.
Fine.
Not more bloody flowers.
Yes, sir. I just don't understand it. I'm beginning to build up a whole file of complaints. Look.
Well, is there anything going on round here?
Well, like what, sir?
Carnival, festival of flowers,
no,
something
no,
like that?
Nothing like that.
Managed to get some time off from work then, Mr. Scott?
Yeah, well, I talked to my boss. He was very understanding.
I'm glad. And the arm, the shoulder.
Better. Much better.
Fine. And you talked to my wife about the,
Oh, we did, yes.
Good. Shall I just remove your jacket?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I've always thought this was such an interesting room.
Thank you.
But you've travelled a lot, haven't you, abroad?
Yes, and worked there.
Whereabouts exactly?
China and Japan. Most of Africa.
Is that where you learned to be a doctor?
Sorry, but I'm not a doctor.
Oh, no. Is that where you learned to heal people, then?
No. I've always been able to help people. Thank you, Mr. Scott.
As a matter of fact, his name is Barrett, Detective Sergeant Barrett. They're both police officers.
Mrs. Joan McAvoy.
Yes.
You know?
I do, yes. She came to me for help.
Yes, on 3 separate occasions.
Something like that, yes.
You're not sure?
I can't be accurate, no. But if it's that important to you, my wife would know.
She keeps records, does she?
Of the business, yes.
Business?
The shop.
And what about your illegal medical activities?
My what?
Does she keep written accounts of those?
I have already
Your wife
explained...
assists you, doesn't she? I mean, she's always there when you arrange to help someone.
She is there because she happens to be my wife. Because she happens to be loyal and understanding.
She's there, Mr. Armour, because she makes the appointments and she takes the money. Am I right?
No.
The first time that Mrs. McAvoy visited you was on the 27th of October last year when she paid you the sum of £325. On the 6th of February this year, she paid you a further £300. Her final payment was on the 14th of June this year, another £300. Would you agree with that?
I certainly wouldn't agree with your use of the word payment.
Oh, come on, Mr. Armour. We're talking about set sums of money asked for by you or by your wife in return for your particular brand of medicine.
I'm afraid you're mistaken.
What was wrong with her?
I'm sorry?
Mrs. McAvoy. What was wrong with her? Why'd she come to you?
She was suffering from migraine and all the accompanying characteristic symptoms. Sickness, exhaustion, listlessness.
Sounds like a very professional diagnosis.
It isn't. Everybody knows about migraine.
I didn't. How many other people have you helped?
Several.
In this area?
No, 1 or 2 locally. If I'm as big a fraud as you're making me out to be, I'm surprised you haven't heard from any of them.
I expect we will, when we think the time is right.
How did Mrs. McAvoy get in touch with you?
How?
Yes, how did she know that she could come to you for help?
Did you advertise?
Of course not.
Then how was it arranged?
I'm not sure. I didn't ask. I suppose the word was passed on.
Well, didn't you bother to ask?
Why should I? I've nothing to hide. If I had, then surely I wouldn't have entertained your colleague in the first place. Now, would I?
Mr. Armour, we've still got a few inquiries to make. I'm sure you won't mind hanging around a little while longer.
If I tried to explain that I need to get home, that I have important things to do...
Then we might have to insist that you stay.
May I telephone my wife?
You may.
You have a headache?
No.
Oh, I thought you had.
I had a son. Severely handicapped. He'd been that way since birth. Could you have helped him?
No. But I've no doubt I could have helped you overcome your own sense of outrage. And perhaps guilt.
Your complainant. I suggest you find her.
This woman, she made a written statement.
Yes, but in a case like this, the court's going to prefer direct evidence, not written evidence.
Yeah.
I suppose in your line, you must have seen your fair share of fakes.
Yeah, I have. But I prefer that kind of art fraud to any of the others. In fact, I can even respect a hard-working fake. They fooled me a couple of times.
Fake medicine is different.
Yeah. Supposing he's genuine.
Who?
This man of yours.
How can it be genuine? You can't cure somebody by faith.
Who says so?
What do you mean, who says so?
The law?
No.
Who then?
Medical science says so.
Oh. Well, supposing he got up in court and cured the magistrate of gout or something.
Don't be stupid.
This man, is he motivated by religion?
No.
What about power?
I shouldn't have thought so.
Can't be just money, otherwise he'd be making a fortune in some fashionable resort somewhere.
Yeah.
Therefore, he must believe in himself. And fakes don't usually do that, do they?
Do you have a garden?
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
Have you?
No, I haven't got a garden.
Hello, Mrs. McAvoy.
So what do you want?
Well, we were wondering.
Would you
Yeah?
open the door for me?
Oh,
There.
yeah.
Do you have a garden?
What?
A garden? Surely you know what a garden is.
I do. I haven't got one, I'm afraid. No use for one.
Why ever not?
Because I live in a flat.
Oh, I see. Get them?
Yeah. You buy them?
No. People shouldn't have to buy flowers. God provides us with flowers, doesn't he? About the only thing he does give us.
Is your husband at work?
No,
Then, well, could I have a word with him?
I doubt it. He died a week ago.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm not.
It's about a complaint you made to us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're now ready to take action against the man responsible for defrauding you.
Mr. Armour.
Yeah, so if,
How is he?
Oh, he's fine. Anyway, if you could...
I've decided to change my mind, that's all.
You what?
I decided to forget about it all. Live and let live, that's what I say. What do you say?
she's round a bend. More flowers in her hallway than there is in the Chelsea Flower Show. Stolen flowers. She's also on the bottle. And she won't give evidence.
Well, did she say why?
Yeah, just not interested anymore. And her husband died a week ago. Even that doesn't bother her.
Bill?
Let the man go.
Let him go?
Get rid of him.
I think Mrs. McAvoy could be suffering from...
Oh. What happened?
Nothing very much.
And they let you come home?
Yes?
Well, have you got to go back again?
Tidy desk and all that.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
You'll have a nice, easy day of it tomorrow.
For the next few days, I should think.
Good. Steve?
Now, before you start trying to pick a fight with me as well, I've stoked the boiler, I've had my supper, and I've washed up.
Has it changed?
Yeah, I'm sure it does. So, till someone wants me to help keep the peace, I'll be in my room.
So what do I do?
You've let him go.
I had to.
Forget it. Tomorrow's another day for crime. There are people out there right now, all set to give you something new to worry about in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, so technically speaking, he's been taking money under false pretenses, but at least he's been attempting to cure people in the process, not harm them.
How do we know that?
Know it?
Yes. How do we know that you can't be harmed by that sort of belief? I mean, the people that go to them, they've got to be impressionable to start with. I mean, supposing you told them that they could walk on water or flour.
Why would he want to do that?
I'm just suggesting that it could be possible.
Which makes it a moral issue, nothing more than that. Isn't that the reason why you don't have a case against the man?
Yes?
It's Mrs. Skeffington.
Who?
Mary Skeffington.
Oh, yes. Come in. You brought the money, have you?
I have, yes.
And you'll both be coming tomorrow night?
Yes, that's right.
There's nothing to be afraid of, you know.
No.
I sent Jake out with D.S. Rawlinson, just for an hour or two.
Fine.
Prison breach. Some do-gooder decided to harbour what we like to call a lawful prisoner.
Yeah.
Anyway, do-gooder still thinks he's done good. He's agitating, shouting his mouth off, so we're going to do it.
Yes.
And this do-gooder's a bit of a talker, so is Rawlinson, but Jake's a very good listener, so I reckon between the pair of them, they'll help the do-gooder to hang himself. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now then, what's happening about these stolen flowers?
I'm going to go with Phillips, see if I can
Oh,
get
come
the
on,
woman...
Phillips can go on his own, surely, or he could take a WPC with him.
I'd like to go.
Stolen flowers? Haven't you got anything
No,
better to do?
I want to talk to Mrs. McAvoy.
Oh, yeah, well, I suppose some people do worry about stolen flowers. I expect I would myself if I had it and someone came along. And... Maggie, we let the man go.
Yes.
There was nothing there for us.
No. Good morning, Mrs. McAvoy.
I've already told your friend I've changed my mind.
Well, that's up to you, of course.
Exactly. So what do you want this time?
It's about some flowers.
Flowers? Would you mind closing the door?
These flowers, Mrs. McAvoy.
What about them?
What about them?
Well, do you want them back or something? Or take them. There's plenty more where those came from.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Well, this is crazy.
I know.
Gov, we wrapped up that do-gooder.
Yeah.
You know what? Mazzy making politics out of harbouring known criminals.
What about money?
Oh, that too, but politics first. And civil rights written all over him. I've seen it all before. Anyway, what I'm getting at is the original arresting officer.
Yeah.
Now, he suffers from back trouble.
What?
Always has. Used to work in Manchester. He was telling me they had a so-called faith healer up there. I mean, this man never went to him, but other people did. And anyway, this faith healer apparently caused so much trouble he became a menace. A real-life danger to society. But our fellas couldn't touch him. So instead of that, they gave him a bad time. Harassed him. Made him pack up and move on. Seems he was always on the move anyway.
Name?
Theodore Armour. There can't be two of them, Gov, can there?
Would anyone like some tea? Or some coffee?
Not for me, thank you.
Wouldn't mind a coffee.
Right.
Reckon I need it.
Milk and sugar.
Oh, please.
How many sugars?
One, please.
Well, you got to admit it, the man has got something.
Yeah, well, all those kind of weirdos do, don't they? And they manage somehow to transmit it from one person to the next. It's all done with the mind, the personality, the eyes, everything.
Oh, so they say, yeah. I mean, I got some of it, didn't I?
Yeah?
My arm played up.
What about your arm?
Right down there. But starting up here. 250 quid's worth of auto suggestion. He, apparently treated some kids up there, Gov.
Kids?
They haven't been quite the same since. Bad thoughts, bad dreams. One was now in a special school.
The information you've got on this man, Armour, like since he's been down here. Any children involved?
Not that I know of, no.
The thing is that my husband suffered from various allergies. He always had done, you name it. Had this amazing garden. My father's garden. It was mostly flowers because he loved flowers. And in the morning, or sometimes of a summer evening, he would pick some of the flowers and he would reach down and hand them to me, and I would take them into the house and give them to my mother. And she would set them in vases. That house was full of the smell of flowers.
Where was this?
What?
Where did you spend your childhood?
Oh, in Sussex. I was born and brought up in Sussex. So our Mr. Armour, the faith healer, did me a favour.
Why?
Never mind why. Would you be very kind to put another one in there for me?
Of course.
Thank you.
Mrs. McAvoy, you paid for that favour, didn't you?
What?
Something like £900, wasn't it?
Did I?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mrs. McAvoy.
Anyway, because of his damned allergies, my husband never drank, he never smoked, and he hardly ever considered sex. Well, that didn't worry me too much. But what did worry me was that in 30 years of marriage, we never had a trip to the country. Or to the packs up. Anyway, it was a kind of release.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Well, not for him, for me.
Why did your husband stop taking the prescribed treatment?
Because he didn't think he needed it anymore.
Why not?
Because he was told he didn't need it anymore.
By who?
By someone.
By Mr. Armour?
Yes.
Tell me.
Well, we went to see Mr. Armour one day, didn't he? Went with me. And Mr. Armour held out those hands of his, you know, and he pressed them hard into my husband's chest. And then he raised that disturbing voice of his in the way that he does. He raised his voice and he demanded that the pain should leave my husband's body, should leave it there and then, should leave it forever. And my husband believed it. So I suppose that if I wanted to, I could say that Mr. Armour more or less killed my husband, couldn't I?
Well, do you want to say that?
No. I have already told you that man did me a favour. I've got to leave here. I'm going to sell this place and I'm going to buy a small house with a garden and grow some flowers.
About the flowers that are here in your home, Mrs. McAvoy.
Hmm?
Did you steal those flowers from any of the following
I
premises?
didn't steal them. I collected them, if you like. I picked them.
Well, they weren't exactly growing wild.
No.
There is also the question of trespass and breaking and entering. But in the circumstances...
Circumstances?
Yes. Your husband's death, your state of mind because of that, it's more than possible that a court would be more than sympathetic and lenient towards you. On the other hand, I should think that my superiors would consider it reasonable.
What are you trying to say to me?
I'm trying to say that perhaps we could come to some kind of arrangement.
Who'd you speak to up there?
Tony Teascott.
Mrs. McAvoy. She's coming in tomorrow to make another statement.
Oh, good.
She's also changed her mind about not giving evidence.
Well done. Now, do you tell her or do I?
We've had a break, our end.
Go on.
Mr. Armour is known in Manchester. Up there, his front was an occult bookshop. Before that, Carlisle, health food shop.
So where's the big break?
Well, that's where he made his big mistake.
Carlisle.
Manchester. Seems he used the fluence on some kids.
Children? Sick.
They are now.
Anyway, lads up there have started the ball rolling. They're getting statements from some varmint.
You okay?
Me? Yeah, I'm fine. I got a bit of a headache. Been a long day.
Oh. With my help, Jamie, we are going to take this pain from you. We are going to lift this pain away from you. We are going to force this pain out, Jamie. Now. 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 I said now!